Welcome, Wildcats, to the final part of Chapter 1. I know it's taken a long time to get there, and probably a lot slower than you could have read it on your own, but hey, I wanted to point these things out, at least for Chapter 1, so you have a better understanding of how to address this book, Anthem. Sorry if there's noise in the background of this video. There's a class going on next door to me, and it sounds like they're having a good time, and that's what we want to hear here at our wonderful Cy Woods High School. Alright, let's go Wildcats. We got a lot of energy in the building today. We're going to win tonight, our first football game. Alright, but let's get into Anthem. We left off at this dun-dun-dun moment where they have found something with their friend, International 48818, even though they're not meant to have friends. And I highlighted some things in blue, since I really haven't been using this color much, to point out different thematic ideas that are popping up on some of these pages that seem to be recurring, like what it means to sin, what it means to have a friend, what it means to be evil. All these things, when we think about how equality views it, we can then think about a message the author is trying to give the reader. And this can be things you explore in your own journal. A great thing to explore in your journal is kind of, why is equality? Why is he, like when he gets his job as a street sweeper, why is he okay with it? Versus now with this discovery, how does this change equality? Will it change their friendship? Well, let's find out. We shall go down, we said to International 48818. It is forbidden, they answered. We said, the council does not know of this hole, so it cannot be forbidden. And they answered, since the council does not know of this hole, there can be no law permitting to enter, and everything which is not permitted by law is forbidden. Okay, so we're getting actually a little bit more of how the structure of their society works. Things need to be permissible, and if it's not permissible, it's automatically forbidden. But we said, we shall go nonetheless. They were frightened, but they stood by and watched us. We hung on the iron rings with our hands, and our feet, we could see nothing below us. And above us the hole open upon the sky grew smaller and smaller till it came to be the size of a button. But still we went down. Then our foot touched the ground. We rubbed our eyes, for we could not see. Then our eyes became used to the darkness, but we could not believe what we saw. No men known to us could have built this place, nor the men known to our brothers who lived before us, and yet it was built by men. It was a great tunnel. Its walls were hard and smooth to the touch. It felt like stone, but it was not stone. On the ground there were long, thin tracks of iron, but it was not iron. It felt smooth and cold as glass. We knelt and we crawled forward, our hand groping along the iron line to see where it would lead. But there was an unbroken night ahead. Only the iron tracks glowed through it, straight and white, calling us to follow. But we could not follow, for we were losing the puddle of light behind us. So we turned and we crawled back, our hand on the iron line, and our heartbeat in our fingertips without reason. And then we knew. Before we get to his revelation here, this is significant, right? He's found something that is not known to them, and it could not be built by them. But yet, it had to be built by men. It had to be built by something. It's not natural. It's not nature. This great tunnel, all right? Its walls were hard and smooth to the touch. It felt like stone, but it was not stone. We know what he's referring to here. It's like a subway tunnel. Interesting. This is some like unknown discovery to their society, but in our society it's quite common. This is important because it's giving us a good timeline that at one point the society was a lot like our modern society, but for whatever reason they had this great revelation and rebirth into their current society that is completely lacking that same technology. This is another clue, another hint, another signal to, hey, they once were like us. I wonder what would cause our society to go down the path that this society went. Wonder what caused their society to go down this path. Now we have some hints and some clues so far. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone, but some of you might already be picking up on maybe what could have happened. But right now it would just be wild guesses and postulations. There's no way to know for sure yet. And yeah, I'll just highlight this real quick before we move on. Alright. And I'll label that, hey, this is our subway tracks, underground train, subway. Here we go. We knew suddenly that this place was left from the unmentionable times. So it was true, and those times had been, all the wonders of those times. Hundreds upon hundreds of years ago, men knew secrets which we have lost. And we thought, this is a foul place. They are who touch the things of the unmentionable times. But our hand which followed the track as we crawled clung to the iron as if it would not leave it, as if the skin of our hand were thirsty and begging of the metal some secret fluid beating in its coldness. We returned to the earth. International 48818 looked upon us and stepped back. Equality 72521, they said. Your face is white. But we could not speak, and we stood looking upon them. They backed away as if they dared not touch us. Then they smiled. But it was not a gay smile. It was lost in pleading. But still we could not speak. Then they said, we shall report our find to the city council, and both of us will be rewarded. And then we spoke. Our voice was hard, and there was no mercy in our voice. We said, we shall not report our find to the city council. We shall not report it to any men. They raised their hands to their ears, for never had they heard such words as these. International 48818. We asked, will you report us to the council and see us lashed to death before your eyes? They stood straight of a sudden, and they answered, rather would we die. Wow. What a response. Quality says, hey, I don't want you to report this. Will you do that and see me die? Rather would we die. What a strong moment from International 48818. We see that he too is different from others. This is not what I would expect a member of their society to say. Then we said, keep silent. This place is ours. This place belongs to us. Equality 72521, and to no other men on earth. And if ever we surrender it, we shall surrender our life with it also. Wow. This matters so much to him. He says, this is mine. That is breaking their core code of law, the greatest transgression that we now are understanding more and more. Then we saw that the eyes of International 48818 were full to the lids with tears they dared not drop. They whispered, and their voice trembled so that their words lost all shape. The will of the council is above all things, for it is the will of our brothers which is holy. But if you wish it so, we shall obey you. Rather, we shall be evil with you than good with all our brothers. May the council have mercy upon both our hearts. Then we walked away together and back to the home of the street sweepers. And we walked in silence. Wow. Are they friends? Is a question I posed at the end of the last video and what would happen to break that friendship or make that friendship more clear to us as the reader. Well, here, would you die for me? Yes, I would. I would die for this too. If we die, we die together. Whoa. What a strong and passionate. If you wish it so, we shall obey you and not the counsel who is above all things. And if you are evil, then we shall be evil with you rather than be good. So what does it mean to be evil? What does it mean to be good? These thematic questions. When your society dictates certain aspects of knowledge and learning as evil, as individuality as evil, it's very obvious in this form. So I would love for you to stop and reflect about our own society. There are a lot of things in our society that dictate how we behave, how we act, and most of these things have incredible good reasons behind them. Do you think that their counsel has good reasons behind what they have? Well, it's hard to say. That's going to be based on your opinion. And think about our world. What would you do for a friend? What would be the thing you would be willing to die for, if any at all, for your friend? The rest of this chapter explains more of how they continue to take and steal different things to make part of the work, and we have solved secrets of which the scholars have no knowledge. We have come to see how great is the unexplored, and many lifetimes will not bring us to the end of our quest. But we wish no end to our quest. We wish nothing save to be alone and to learn and to feel as if with each day of our sight we're growing sharper than the hawks and clearer than rock crystal. Strange are the ways of evil. I'm just going to end this chapter and this video and this paragraph. Please read through the rest of these. There's so much greatness in this last paragraph too. Oh, I love this last paragraph so much, especially syntax and diction. Oh, please enjoy and annotate this paragraph here. But I'm going to end my video annotating this one a little bit closely here, because I'm seeing a lot of his character here. They learn things which are not in the scripts. We've solved secrets. We've come to see how great it is to figure things out for themselves. And you know what? There is no way this quest will end in their lifetime. And you know what? This is what they want. I don't want this quest to ever end. We wish nothing save to be alone and to learn. We found out his curse, his craving that he must satisfy at all times, as he wants to learn. His curse is curiosity. What is something you want to learn about? For him, it's all of these secrets of the world, understanding how the world works around him. And I wonder, have you ever wondered about how our world works? How it works around you in your community? What would cause you to be curious? And if you're not curious on anything, well, then why not be curious? Why not try different things and learn different things? I think that's the powerful message of chapter 1. It's asking us, why not try to discover what we are curious about? I know that this is not worded in the way that we would word a thematic statement, but this is the defining question of chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed chapter 1, Wildcats. I hope your annotations help you in the future understand this book a bit better. The next chapter that I'm going to annotate is chapter 3. Have a wonderful day, Wildcats. And let's get them this Friday. Let's go!